Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, we can hear.
Hi, boss.
Hi, Gaurav.
Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Galen. Hi, George.
Hello.
Hi. Mhm.
We'll wait a couple of more minutes and we'll start. Yeah. Hi, Joseph. You're on mute.
Hi, Gaurav. How you doing?
Good, man. Good.
Hi Gaurav, this side Harman. How are you doing?
Hi. Who was that?
I think it was Harmon.
Okay. Great. Great. Shall we wait for one more minute? Our official time has started, but probably I think it's not a bad idea to have a soft start. Yeah. I don't want to punish those who came on time. And we have a lot to cover, guys. So let's probably start. Yeah. Um, so I have a presentation around this, and I'll be putting up PPT very soon. But before that, let me just give a little bit of preface in terms of why I basically like this topic, and I also find this to be pretty interesting, right? So if you see, people who are joining consulting and overall where the consulting industry is growing, yeah, the number of entry points and number of people who are joining consulting, if you see the average age is increasing. Yeah, so a lot of people are joining consulting at different entry points. Gone are the days when people only used to think that after bachelor's or master's, let me start off in consulting. At the same time, I still feel that a lot of work experience people or people with 5 6 plus years of experience feel that my bus is missed. Yeah, now I've lost the opportunity to join consulting. Yeah, they don't know what all different opportunities are there, have opened up recently and already have been there, but they probably don't know. Yeah, so I just wanted to shed light on that, open up the consulting opportunity doors or the knowledge of that at least, yeah, for the working or professional experienced people. Okay, so that's the intent with which let's start. Let me, I'm again confirming that you are able to hear me well, right? There's no noise, nothing that is coming from my side. Are you able to hear me crystal clear, guys?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, so today's agenda or the schedule is like this. Okay, I'll just quickly introduce myself in 5 minutes, and the majority of time we are going to spend on understanding different consulting career opportunities for working professional, and then we will also spend time to discuss about how to prepare. Right, what are some of the nuances when we talk about different entry points in consulting, and of course we will. Though 5 plus 40 plus 15 is 60 minutes already, but I don't mind kind of extending it a few more minutes and address all the questions that you have. You also have another incentive to stay till the end. PrepLounge has kindly extended a coupon code, a promo code for you to get something at a discounted price point. Okay, so do stay till last. Yeah. Um, yeah. So just in the chat box, probably keep writing in terms of what are your expectations from this workshop. Yeah, probably at the time of queuing, I can go through that, and if some of the things I have not covered and I can cover in this, I'm happy to cover that. From my side, my expectations are very clear. I want this to be kind of involving and interactive workshop. Yeah. Whatever points that you have, please write it down and ask me at the Q&A at the end. If there is something that you feel is basically not understood, and because of that, the further conversation is very difficult to understand, just raise hand and ask question. Okay, I don't mind getting interrupted if it is a very pressing question and it will hamper the learning. Okay, otherwise keep the questions for the Q&A. Yeah, I'll try and address as many questions as possible in the Q&A. Okay, do we have a deal on this? Yeah. Be expressive, say yes, no,
Yeah.
thumbs up. Yeah, so that I know you are not sleeping. Okay, cool. Quick introduction. Yeah, so before even I introduce myself, I think we will be using this word consultant so many times today. I just thought, first of all, let's define it. Okay, if you do the McKinsey 7-step problem solving process, what's the first step in that? It's about defining the problem, right? Just like that. Let's already think like consultant, and let's define consultant. Okay, especially important for you guys if you have work experience of more than 5+ years of experience. So whenever I say work experience or professional experience, I'm talking about 5+ years, because as we progress through the corporates, we engage so many type of different advisors, so many type of different resources, and we call them consultants, right? So consultant is, I always say that it's one of the most abused word. Okay, but don't forget, over here, when I'm talking about consultant, we are talking about management consultant. We are talking about someone who gets engaged in this kind of mode, right? So a management consultant typically solves a problem for a corporate. Okay, there is a contract, there is some kind of arrangement that is agreed upon. Yeah, and a consulting team starts solving the problem, right? And then we diagnose the problem, generate option, convince the client, and sometimes also implement the solution, and we disengage. So a advisor, a problem solver who is engaged in this kind of fashion and who does the collaborative problem solving, kind of a process, right, is the consultant that we are talking about. Here, I am not talking about consultants or advisors that are hired as a mentor, those who have been there and done that for 20-30 years and who can just advise us that just do this. Yeah, I know this is going to work, do this. These are not the guys we are talking about. Or when we hire people these days, a lot of company hire people not on their payroll but as an external entity, and they call them consultants. We are not talking about that consulting, we are talking about management consulting. Okay, is that very clear? Yeah. So I'll just give you some example of my own consulting practice. So I was a consultant for 6 years, and these are, I mean, I've done almost 20+ projects. My specialization was strategy, so almost 90% of projects I did was in strategy. I worked across 25 countries, 5 continents. Only one continent that I did not work was Antarctica. But otherwise, yeah, in Lehman Brothers time, turning around an Italian bank, I actually worked very closely with the Prime Minister of a European country to attract investments from Asian countries, packaging industry, profitability improvement in television and broadcasting, 5-year plan of a big bank. So M&A, 3 due diligence projects. So these are the kind of projects, these are the kind of engagements, right, which define management consulting. Okay, so when we are talking about management consulting and management consulting opportunity, today we are talking about these kind of opportunities. Are we clear about it? Yeah, very good, cool. So very quickly from a coaching perspective, so for the last 10 years, since 2014, I've engaged in coaching, and some of you already know me, some of you have already looked me up on LinkedIn. Thanks for that. So I just one thing that I will always kind of try and stress out over here is I've always tried to be really a coach and not just an ex-consultant. I'm actually ICF certified career coach, and have the 750 number is now 797. And just today, somebody one of my mentee got offer from McKinsey Riyadh office. If some of you are connected to me, they already know who this person is. And this person is also, incidentally, an experienced professional, somebody who has worked with Saudi Aramco for 7 years. Yeah. So I've been coaching people to get into MBB, tier 2 consulting companies, etc. As I said, I come from a McKinsey background. I've worked extensively. And third thing that I also have is I also have a recruitment firm. So I have a small boutique recruitment firm, and we generally focus on strategy and consulting engagement. Yeah. So whenever I'm talking about a consulting scenario, trends, etc., just wanted to tell you that I'm probably coming from these three perspectives, as an ex-consultant, as a consulting career coach, but also somebody who is actually glued to the recruitment market or on the other side of the table. Okay, just to give you a very, very quick perspective about where I'm coming from. So my mission is, since last 3-4 years, I have broadened up my perspective. My mission now has been, for now last 3-4 years, has been creating happy consulting career, right? So initially 3-4 years, I also focused only on interview preparation, but I quickly realized that interview preparation can get you a McKinsey offer, right? But for you to sustain these top consulting company, really enjoy, right, careers, right, it's very important that you not only prepare for interview, but also prepare for the career, right? And that's why most of my clients are people like you who are higher level of work experience. They are not just looking for McKinsey or BCG as a brand, but they are looking for sustainable lifestyle, sustainable career. Yeah. And that's the reason I do work across this life cycle. I coach people who are trying to decide whether to get into consulting or not till the time literally they exit. I also, as we speak, coach 3 partners. I coach some engagement manager, and of course I coach people to get into or prepare for the interviews. Okay, so that's, I think, enough about me. Let's quickly jump into the opportunity landscape. Okay, so I have divided this part into 3. Okay, so one thing, guys, I want to tell you, and really, I mean, take it in a really one enthusiastic spirit, right? Is that the landscape of consulting is actually much bigger than what we typically perceive it. Yeah, typically when we talk about consulting opportunity kind of landscape, we talk about, let's say, McKinsey, BCG, Bain, and the trajectory that we hear, that we see on YouTube videos, etc. And that trajectory is basically a generalist consulting trajectory. Okay, so we will talk about that very quickly so that a base is set, and then I will also talk about 2 more opportunity. I'm going to spend a lot of time on the third one, which is the specialist or subject matter expert career track. Yeah, this is where in last 3 years, if I see, probably around 70 to 80 candidates I have coached to get into MBB, coming from backgrounds which are 5+ years of experience. Around 70 to 75% of them have chosen to take consulting specialist or subject matter expert career track. So why is that? What is generalist versus SME career track? What are the pros and cons? Everything we will discuss. Okay, just hang in there. But just to set the base, yeah, for some of you who might probably are new to consulting as a career, as a market, yeah, very quickly, the pie can be cut in various ways, but generally, consulting market is cut like this. Okay, so we talk about 4 types of consulting companies. So we talk about the pure play management consultant like McKinsey, BCG, Bain, then Kearney, yeah, Oliver Wyman, yeah, ADL, RB, yeah. All these are pure play management consulting companies. Then we talk about Big Fours. Big Fours in are basically nothing but the tax and audit firms, but all the tax and audit firms now have management consulting practices. So that is what is referred to as Big Four opportunities. Yeah. Then there is a breed of consulting companies which last 2-3 years, 2-3 decades, sorry, have come up, which are either industry or functional expert. Yeah. So industry expert, let's say like Schlumberger, yeah, only work in oil and gas, or something like PRTM, which actually got acquired by PwC, which only worked on operations, or ZS, which only works on marketing and sales for pharma. Yeah. So Dalberg, basically developmental consulting, work with country governments for issues like poverty, your urban planning, etc., etc. So there are a lot of specialized players in the market. And fourth is basically the technology consulting. Now, I wouldn't say that the scenario has stayed in a way that now the MBBs don't work operational or audit or those kind of technology work. No, now everybody is trying to do everything. Yeah, so McKinsey also has McKinsey digital arm. Yeah, McKinsey also does operations project. Okay, but still, when we are talking about this categorization, think about McKinsey BCG Bain as predominantly strategy heavy work. Yeah, Big Four predominantly operations process kind of work. Third category is specialist focused on a particular industry or function. And the last category being technology consulting. Just think like that. If you want to take I'm not going to go through the entire table, but if you want to take a screenshot of this, please take a screenshot. It talks about the pros and cons of all these 4 different buckets. Okay. Okay, so just to set up a few conversations ahead, yeah, just want to give this knowledge that every big consulting company that we are talking about, McKinsey, BCG, Bain, Kearney, etc., most of them, even the big 4 ones, are metrics organized. Yeah, so every consulting company has teams along industry verticals, and they also have teams along functions. Yeah, so when I said most of my work I did in McKinsey was strategy work, that's because I was mostly aligned to strategy as a horizontal vertical. Okay, some of my colleagues did most of their work in pharma because probably they were aligned with pharma as an industry. Okay, so I'll talk about how it works, but basically there will be teams who predominantly work on a particular industry or particular function as they progress in the career. Okay, but this is how it is typically aligned. Okay, now there's one line on this on the table which I'll explain over here. Understand, guys. So when we are talking about generalist career track, any consulting company, any big consulting company, as I said, have 2 career tracks: generalist and SME or specialist. Generalist career track are the people who are typically taken from MBA or degree colleges, okay, as analysts or consultants. Yeah, and for first 2, 3, 4 years till they become manager, they are encouraged to see as many industries and as many functions as possible. Yeah, so they work on banking project, then cement, then it can be telecom, sales and marketing, sometimes strategy, sometimes private equity due diligence. So for first 2, 3 years, there is no hard alignment to any particular sector. Yeah, remember this because this is a big distinction point. Okay, but as you become manager and you start progressing in your career, yeah, you are encouraged to specialize. Why? Because simply speaking, once you become manager onwards, your focus is not only on delivery or problem solving, but slowly you also start managing clients, yeah, and also start selling projects. And in order for you to sell project, you need to at least have some expertise, and expertise will only come if you specialize slowly, yeah, into a particular industry. Yeah, so your networking effort, your knowledge gaining effort, your relationship effort, all if they are focused on one industry, then only you will be able to have an edge in this. Yeah, so manager onwards, generally people are encouraged to specialize. Are you with me till this point? Yeah, this is called the generalist career track. Okay, on the right hand side, I have for those who are a little bit uninitiated in consulting careers, you can also go through how generally the ownership or the responsibilities change. Yeah? As an analyst or consultant, you are allocated work stream. By work stream, what I mean by that is part of the project. So if there is a profitability improvement project, and let's say there is a revenue stream which is tackling work stream tackling revenue and work stream tackling cost, then one consultant will work on how to improve revenue, another consultant will work on how to reduce cost. Yeah, so both these consultant will work under a manager who will basically take care of the project. This is how it typically works. Okay, so as analyst or consultant, single work stream or single part of the project. As a manager, you take care of the entire project. As you become senior manager, which is in some companies called principal, in Big Four it is called director. Yeah, in that designation, you started building capability to own multiple projects under one or two clients. Okay, and then once you become a partner, then basically you entirely take responsibility of an industry or part of the industry and a lot of clients under you. Okay, this is how you progress. Now, though a lot of people with profile like yours, yeah, experienced professionals choose subject matter expert as a career track, and we will cover that. There are those who still want to be generalists, because being a generalist also has some advantages. Generalist career track actually develops your, as we call it, consulting toolkit. It really makes you that, good problem solvers. Yeah, because every project, if you do it in different industry, you tackle different problems, and by tackling different problems, your problem solving skill increases or improves. Yeah, so there are people who after 10-12 years of experience also create or also join generalist career track. Generally, yeah, in MBB, irrespective of your number of years of experience, if you join in a generalist career track, you join as a consultant. You will not be given much benefit. They will not take you directly as manager or senior manager. So my own example, I joined McKinsey and I had pre-MBA experience of 3 years. And there's another person who joined with me, same McKinsey Frankfurt office only. Yeah, he had 13 years of experience. Both of us joined as an associate. Associate is a word for consultants in McKinsey. Yeah, today the client or mentee of mine who got an offer from McKinsey Riyadh office, 8 years of experience, as I said, he'll join as an associate in the Riyadh office because he's choosing to go for a generalist career track. Okay, in general, this is the career track, that this is the insertion point that you get in MBB. However, in as you go down in that types of companies, yeah, if you go to Big Four, if you go to specialized firm, right, then there is a very high chance that you can demonstrate your value add, yeah, much more than the problem solving value add. And in Big Fours, there is a possibility that they can directly take you as a manager or sometimes senior manager as well. So I've seen somebody who is with 14, 15 years of telecom experience entering a Big Four directly as a senior manager. So that is also possible. Yeah. But in MBB, I haven't seen any experienced professional directly joining as manager and all, especially in a generalist career track. Okay. So if you are trying to get into a generalist career track, which is the most typical career track in consulting, then you will join literally at the bottom of the pyramid. Okay, as a consultant. Just keep that in mind. Yeah. Are you with me? Yeah. Okay. So before we go to a bigger discussion of subject matter expert, I just wanted to have a couple of slides on the opportunity area that a lot of people actually ignore. Yeah. And I always say that, this is the opportunity that can also give you a very good entry point in consulting world. In fact, rather than joining some of the big four practices that we know as a coaches or in the industry, that they don't have that good quality project, I sometimes advise my client that rather than joining this consulting company, it's better to join the internal consulting role in some of these ones. Yeah, I think somebody's playing with the slides. Yeah, thanks. Okay, cool. So what am I talking about? Yeah, so first of all, let's talk about internal consulting. So just the way we know McKinsey, KPMG, etc. Yeah, there are a lot of companies who have very good internal consulting practices. In fact, Siemens, I should put it on the intersection, because Siemens Consulting or Siemens Adventa also now do external projects. Okay, but DHL, AIG, then there is also Mastercard, Visa, then there is EADS. Yeah, lot of these organization corporates have internal consulting teams. Yeah, that can also give you an amazing exposure. Okay, of course they will be able to give exposure in their particular industry, but the quality of the projects, as we hear from those who have joined, those who have exited, as we analyze the exits that they have got out of that. Yeah, these are extremely good, some of the good strategy programs that the corporates have. Yeah, Schlumberger and Tata, I have kept it in the middle because they have both. They have internal consulting companies who consult their own company, but they also do outside work. Okay, but this is one. Second is, in a corporate setup itself, yeah, if you really kind of get into it, yeah, you will realize that there are positions, okay, which can give you an amazing strategy exposure. Now what happens, no, with 7, 8 or 10 years sometimes of line work or operational work in an industry, yeah, your profile doesn't have strategic projects per se. Yeah, and that's why sometimes people struggle to make an impressive resume for McKinsey, BCG, or impressive resume for consulting entry. Okay, but here is a very good chance of kind of developing that or getting that exposure. Yeah, so for example, there are a lot of roles like something like chief of staff or executive assistant to CEO. Of course, not the admin executive assistant we are talking about. We are talking about executive assistants that are aligned to corporate strategy. Okay, those roles are there. If the companies are big enough, then they also have corporate strategy M&A teams. Yeah, again, in very big companies, yeah, you also have strategy team at a business unit level, because their business units themselves are so big and they also need strategy people. Now what happens is, if some of these companies are from the same sector where you come from, so let's say for example, if I am from, let's say, telecom, yeah, and Vodafone is looking for somebody in their strategy team, right, then I might not be a ex-strategy consultant, but I know telecom in and out, yeah, and I want to get into consulting. So with my telecom as an expertise, I can probably start and see whether I can get an entry into strategy team of Vodafone. Yeah, and then couple of years of experience, CV gets built up, yeah, and then your CV probably is ready for a telecom practice of a good consulting company, or if you want to go generalist, or if you want to do MBA or something like that, then your CV is built up for that consulting, that typical consulting entry. Okay, so don't ignore these particular opportunities. Yeah, with me till now. I'm able to hear some murmur. Is that a question? No, I think probably somebody by mistake unmuted. Okay, so I already spoke about it, but very quickly. So entry into strategy domain is an advantage when we are talking about all the roles that I spoke about in last couple of slides. Yeah. Exposure to project-based analytical work, right? So a lot of time again, so if I'm in telecom and I started in telecom sales, then I went to telecom marketing. I've been working like a continuous day in and day out on a mandate or on my JD, right? The responsibility that I have. Yeah. What happens is when you work in some of the strategy team, you also get exposed to that project-based work environment, that analytical work environment, that habit of defending everything using data, that habit of knowing that in 2 months I need to analyze this and tell somebody go or no go. Yeah. So that exposure, even these strategy roles can give you. Okay. Some of the concerns, of course, my clients talk about is, will I be just paper pusher, right? So till now, I have been a sales guy. I know I do touchy feely job. Really, I'm the business is at my fingertips. And what are you telling me? Just create reports and create PPT. Will it be just a paper pusher role? Yeah. Or sometimes people feel for last 6-7 years I've been in operations, lean manufacturing expert, and all that stuff. And now for 2 years, if I do this PPT work or analytical work, will I lose my industry spike? Yeah. So both the concerns are, I wouldn't say they're completely unjustified. That's a possibility. And that's why I always see you guys are experienced guys. Yeah. You guys have seen the world. It's all about, evaluating your options. Yeah. Do you really want to get into consulting? Yeah. And to get into that mainstream consulting, what is it that you got to do? Right. And of course, when you interview with these people, when you ask them questions about your career progression, the type of project that you can do, a lot of things can get clarified. So I always say that a thorough analysis of the opportunity, if you do very well, right, and with open mind and open eyes, if you enter these opportunities are also not bad. Okay, in a lot of good companies, strategy department or strategy teams, actually they do very good quality work. Okay. Now, with that, let's get into SME or subject matter expert career track. A lot of people ask me why this expert track and tell us more about it. And I always tell them this kind of a story. Yeah. So, guys, consulting has evolved a lot. Yeah. So there was a time when the MBBs used to just kind of do a strategy work, throw the report on the client, and say, we are going, give us money, we are going. Yeah. That I call consulting 1.0. Yeah. Pure strategy work, pure advice, ideas, etc. And consultants are gone. Yeah. But slowly but surely, clients started getting shrewd, clever. Yeah. And they realize this consultant give us ideas and go away, but we are not able to implement them ourselves. Yeah. Then slowly, they started telling the consultant, guys, only advice is strict no. You give us advice and you also help us implement it. Yeah. And we will also align your payment to that. We'll not give you full payment, probably 30% on the report, other 70% when you realize the benefits that you are talking about. Yeah. So this become consulting 2.0, client becoming wiser and consulting realizing, oh, now only high horsepower and IQ guys are not enough. I want to have somebody on the team who understand operations, who has done something operationally, really, have dirtied the hands, as we call it. Yeah. Again, that few years, forward, and again, client got even more intelligent and they realize this consultant come, they help us implement as well. But next time when we have problem, we again have to call them. Why? Because they haven't taught my guys how to solve the problem or how to do this. Yeah. So again, they started pushing the consulting companies, guys, not only you do give us ideas, not only you give implementation support, but you also do capability building for us. Yeah. Again, of course, consulting companies, which are a service industry, of course, they have to comply, and they realize now there's a very high need of people who are not just analytical bent of mind, guys, right out of MBA, and generalist, we would need a lot of people with a very deep understanding of how industry works. Yeah. And this has been happening for a long time now, almost 20 odd years. Yeah. And hence the expert career track is as a movement, as a trend has been growing. In fact, in US, in Europe, in some of the Asian countries, there are certain offices, there are certain practices where expert career track is almost 30 to 40% of the workforce. Okay. So this is basically the opportunity that is amazing for someone who has spent a lot of years in one area and real a specialist person. Okay, let's very quickly look into the pros and cons of this. Yeah, so what the difference, let's say, not pros and cons. So as we say, as a generalist, you have to be a generalist till the level of manager, and after that, the specialization is encouraged, etc., etc. Yeah, we spoke about it. In specialist expert career track, you are specialist from day one. Okay, so I'll tell you very quickly. This is probably not there on multiple slides, piece by piece, but when I join in a generalist career track, I'm always basically attached to a single project. So Monday, I take a flight, I go to the client. Monday to Friday, I work on a single project, whatever that is, strategies, marketing and sales, whatever. Friday, I come back. Next Monday, I go same client till the project is over. The project is over, I go on another project and then another and then another. Specialist is different. Specialist has three KRAs. Yeah, one is of course the problem solving or delivery. Second is BD, and third is KD. I'll explain. Yeah, what is on the project delivery front? They are generally allocated to 2-3 projects. I'll give you an example. So when I was working on a payment projects or the payment process in the banking, yeah, that was a time of SEPA, Single European Payment Authority. So the euro was coming to existence. Yeah, it was extremely complicated in terms of legality and the intercountry agreements, etc. So we always had somebody whose 1 day bandwidth was allocated to our project. Now he was a payment expert who used to spend 1 day on our project. And there were a lot of McKinsey projects going on with different banks. So this guy was allocated to 3 projects. So like that, expert is allocated to or can get allocated to multiple projects at a time. Sometimes if the project is big and the scope is big, probably expert can also dedicate himself 100% there. But most of the time, experts are allocated to multiple projects. They don't have a bottom line of one project. They don't have responsibility of delivery of one project. They are supposed to give their expertise to different projects. One. Second is they are actively involved in business development. Now it depends. If you're joining as a senior expert, junior expert, so senior experts are like extremely industry veterans, right? And they are also then given business development targets. But if you are a junior expert, yeah, with 6-7 years of experience, etc., yeah, then probably not target, but proposal making, yeah, value proposition making, some client meetings, the partners will take you because partner wants somebody to talk industry in those meetings, in those proposal. Okay, that is second. Third is, I don't know how many of you read something like McKinsey quarterly articles, right? So all this knowledge that firm publishes, yeah, who writes that? Yeah, you will typically see on these articles there will be 2 authors. One will be, if you Google their names or LinkedIn their names, you will realize one of them is partner and another will be some junior guy. So that junior guy is generally a specialist career track person. So a lot of specialist career track guys are also encouraged to contribute with their knowledge. Okay, so that is basically how the specialist career track person's kind of career starts. Okay, so here I think in a chart format I have explained the same. Yeah, how business development and other responsibility in a generalist career track start much later on, but in expert career track they start right from day one. Okay, now what are the pros and cons? Yeah, and you might have few more than this. I just kind of putting 2, 3, 3 over here, the top one. Okay. So for people who are, heavily experienced people, right? This career tracks give opportunity to get into consulting, first of all, as simple as that, as tactical, as blunt, as naked truth it is. Yeah. Because of this career track, you can actually join a lot of good consulting companies, even if you're not from non-target school, because here the criteria is not school. Here the criteria is not your GPA. Here the criteria is how expert you are in your domain. Okay. Second, possibility to join middle of the pyramid. Now the person that I was talking about, who joined with me, he joined as an associate. So what is it that he had to endure? Yeah, probably a very low salary. Yeah, a lot of people say after 8 and 9 years of experience, why should I join and work under somebody who is like 5 years younger to me, or why should I take a pay cut? Yeah, if you join as a subject matter expert, there's a very high chance that your salary band will be higher. Yeah, and you will get into that expert role. Hmm? Third is mindset. Now this is seemingly small point, but actually it's in real life it's a big point. And I say this to PhD candidates as well. Some people know they are inherently personality wise, they're inherently specialist mindset. They like depth than breadth. Yeah. Don't forget, consulting is by definition there is a generalist profession. Yeah. You are supposed to look into 100 things and analyze. Yeah. But if you have a mindset of going deep, you like depth. You don't understand 80-20. Yeah. In short. Yeah. You are 95% and not 80-20%. Yeah. Then this is the career track with which you can still join consulting. Okay. Now talking about the cons. So we spoke about it, I think, briefly. The first point, your problem solving skills might not get fully developed, no doubt about it, because here your problem solving abilities are not tested. Here, what is tested is your industry knowledge. Yeah. Sales and practice development, etc. That pressure can come to you on you from day one, depending on your experience level, of course. And thirdly, generally, it has been seen that the growth towards becoming a partner, yeah, of a expert career track person would be little bit slower than that of a generalist career track person. Okay, so that is like a little bit con, you can say. Yeah. Some of the other considerations. It's growing. I already spoke to you about this. First point, expert consultants are mostly hired year around, yeah, off campus. Because understand, guys, generalist consultants, no, they are hired in herd, yeah. The entire batch joins, because it doesn't matter whether this guy should go on the telecom project or this guy should join this project. It's a batch that joins, yeah. It's an annual process, or 2 times in a year process, yeah. For expert, there has to be a need. For example, if I have to get, let's say, carbon credit expert for my McKinsey practice, yeah, I also need to see a carbon credit related or sustainability related project in my pipeline, right? So a lot of time it is need based hiring. It can happen anytime, yeah. And as a result of that, yeah, for these opportunities, it's extremely important that you network. You are in touch with right people. Okay, who are the right people? Principals and partners in consulting companies. Yeah, so that whenever the need arises, your CV gets very quickly picked up. Okay. Um, yeah. So salary levels are not very different. So again, salary band to salary band, if you compare, yeah, then it's not very different from a generalist consultant level. Yeah, as I said, at an entry point, yeah, you might get another different band itself, because now you are not a generalist but a specialist. But if you compare band with band, yeah, the expert partner and a normal generalist partner, their salary levels will be same. Okay, so it's not very different. Okay, another thing is this is the play that you can actually have much more in the niche or small consulting companies. Okay, because understand, guys, the niche or small consulting companies, the kind of work that they do, no, that is always much more depth driven than breadth driven. Yeah, McKinsey, BCG, Bain are generally hired for big growth related problems or big deals, etc. Yeah, when we are talking about extremely niche domain specific problem, right, then there are a lot of niche consulting companies who do that kind of work, and as a result of that, they also have much higher percentage of expert in their own pyramid. Okay, so here I'm talking about a few. This is okay, these are just validations. But yeah, this is the list. This is not exhaustive. Just wanted to give you an idea. Again, you can take a screenshot of this. These are some of the niche consulting companies. Okay, and this doesn't mean McKinsey, BCG, Bain, etc. don't do niche work. Yeah, these are by definition, by structure, niche consulting companies. Yeah, of course, all the other big companies that we spoke about earlier. Yeah, they also do this work, but these are the ones which are known for their own expertise in this area. Okay. Okay. So this is just both of them. These guys are my clients, and I show this slide because a lot of people ask me in Q&A that my profile is this. Should I go to generalist? Should I go to specialist? And I always show them these profiles. Yeah, both of them are extremely experienced people. Extremely. Yeah, but one of them decided to directly join as a expert, an expert partner, you can see directly. Yeah, and one of them, despite of having huge experience in the screenshot, you can see probably 16 years and co-founder, and below we can't even see. Yeah, but despite of that, he joined a generalist and he joined McKinsey as associate. Okay, so it depends on you guys. What is it that you want out of your career? What do you want to develop? Where do you want to go in long term? Yeah, both options are possible. Yeah, and both have their own pros and cons. Okay. Okay, so now from the opportunity landscape, let's think about how to prepare. Okay, so is the interview process different? Yes, little bit different. So if you are going for a generalist career track, then it's a general interview process. Yeah, so we talk about the 4 to 6 interviews. Yeah, every interview having a fit and business case. Yeah, I'm hoping that you know what is fit and business case. Okay, fit is basically asking questions like, tell me about yourself. Why do you want to work in consulting? Why should we hire you? Tell me an instance where you demonstrated problem solving skill. Those kind of questions. Yeah, and business case is basically our client wants to launch this product in this particular country, and they want advice whether to do whether they should enter or not, and solving that problem for the client. Yeah, in 30-40 minutes. It's a 50 minutes interview in McKinsey, BCG, Bain. In some companies it is still 1 hour. Around 15 to 20 minutes are given to fit. Around 35 to 40 minutes are given to business case. Okay, this is generalist career track. Uh, with expert career track, SME, subject matter expert career track, of course, another thing get added, which is domain expertise. Yeah, what it means is the profile screening is not just done on your achievements, but also in the profile screening, they see the depth of your experience. Okay. Secondly, within all these interviews, apart from fit and business case, a lot of time, especially in the second rounds, when you start talking to principals, partner, etc., a lot of time, the domain understanding, the technical details are also discussed. Okay, so that is something that we need to be aware of. So we call it business discussion or technical discussion. Yeah, that gets added to your preparation, and that gets added to your recruitment process. Otherwise, from a flow perspective, the recruitment process for a specialist and a generalist is not very different. Okay. Cool. How to prepare? Yeah. So this is what I suggest. Yeah. And every another coach might have another strategy. So I feel that first of all, one should start off with creating a foundation. And I think in my case, I feel foundation basically means preparing for, or kind of being ready with three weapons. Yeah. One is, or at least I'll tell you how I do it. Yeah. So I ensure that my clients know how a case is cracked, so how a business problem is solved, the entire flow, right, from paraphrasing, clarification, structure, quantitative analysis, qualitative analysis, and recommendation. How it is done, yeah, is something that we teach, in a foundation part. Yeah. And second part is the fit interview. So fit interview as well. Top 10 most frequently asked question is fit. Yeah, I have a rotating list which I refresh every 6 months. So top 10 questions we tell our clients to prepare, and of course we create amazing CV and cover letter. Yeah, there is a reason I do this. I tell people to do this before even networking. Yeah, because guys understand, when you will go for networking and you will have a coffee conversation with principals or partners to generate your interview leads. Yeah, a lot of principal and partners these days take mini interview. Yeah, so they might ask you over coffee itself, why should we hire you? The funny thing happens, a couple of weeks back, one of my client, she wants to apply to BCG Amsterdam. And she was having a networking coffee with a principal in Amsterdam. 10-15 minutes, they did a chit chat, and suddenly the principal asks her, now that we are here in cafe for 10-15 minutes, can you estimate the daily revenue of this cafe? Yeah. So he gave her a guesstimate case then and there. Yeah. And of course, I don't blame them, because when somebody refers you, it's his or her credibility at stake. Yeah. That's why I always say, don't burn your connections unnecessarily by going for networking conversation unprepared. Go to networking conversation as if you are going for first round of interview. Go a little bit prepared. Yeah. So once your foundation is done, then you open these two separate parallel threads: networking and practice with your peers, practice with people around you, practice on PrepLounge with so many other people also interested. Yeah. Then comes the final polishing. Final polishing is basically about, so what we do is, when you start getting interview calls, around interview call to the first interview is 2-3 weeks. So that is when we actually do the firm specific interview. So if you are going for, let's say, BCG Amsterdam office, then I will give you BCG Amsterdam cases. Yeah. One. Secondly, we also do atypical cases. So conversational case, double objective case. So tough cases we do, so that the final polishing gets done before, and then you are ready to crack and get the offer. Yeah. And as I said at the start of our interaction, I generally feel that the job is not over. I feel that people should, once they get an offer, they should also prepare for how to join consulting and how to actually settle down. Yeah. So I coach people also for the first 100 days in consulting role. Okay. Because that is typically the do or die. Yeah. Consulting has up or out policies, especially in MBB. A lot of people get fired in first 6 months. We don't want to. We don't want. I don't wish that to anybody. In fact, yeah. So it's very important that you not only prepare for consulting interview, also prepare for consulting as a career. Okay. So generally, it's a 160 to 200 hour investment if you do it yourself. And I always say, by coaching, what are you doing? You are actually almost, you can bring that investment down by 2 times or by half, you can say. Yeah. So that's of course the effectiveness that comes from a very targeted guidance in terms of what you should be doing, what you should not be doing, and a very quick identification of issues, strengths, and weaknesses, and a quick fixing of that, which means you will save half the time for sure. Yeah. that is that. Okay, cool. So that was about the preparation part. If you are on PrepLounge and if you are starting the preparation, as I promised at the start, we have PrepLounge has generously offered 25% discount on their 6-week premium membership. So certainly do think about it, yeah, and enroll for this membership. This particular code is active only till the end of August. Yeah. On PrepLounge, where can you find me? Of course, there is a link. I have also created a QR code of the link, so you can scan that and see my profile. Okay, and happy to coach you going forward. Okay, so yeah, I think that is that. Yeah. So tell me, first of all, is everything clear? Did I really run through it and you missed out on anything? Anything else you want to cover? There is already somebody's hand is raised. Please go ahead. And there are certain
Hello.
questions as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hi, Gaurav. Thanks for the presentation. It was really nice. I wanted to ask you about the point you mentioned about the generalist role.
Mhm.
You mentioned even if you go after 8 years, 10 years of experience, you have to start at the associate level. However, I want to check with you if you have seen any benefits when it's come to salary negotiation and career progression.
In which generalist career track?
Yeah, let's say like a McKinsey associate. If you go with the 10 years industry experience,
That's
can
a
you
very
negotiate
that's a
salary?
very You cannot negotiate base salary. What I have seen people negotiating is higher joining bonus. But as you could see in that two profile comparison on LinkedIn profile, this guy 1 year got promoted from associate to senior associate, right? So
Yeah, this
really,
that. Yeah.
it's not systemic, huh, by the way, but the very fact is that when you come with loads of experience, no, then you generally tend to do, or you can get adjusted to consulting fast and you progress faster and you can be fast track.
I see. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks so much.
Most welcome. Yeah.
Thanks for the presentation and information. Actually, I shared my 2 questions on the chats. I would be glad if you give some information about those 2.
Okay, how can we be involved in networks you mentioned in other just like, could you share some recommend? What do you mean by that? What kind of network? Can you just refresh my memory?
Yes, actually, in your other consideration slides, you mentioned networking is important, and how can we reach them, especially on based on online events? How can we approach them? How can we contact with them?
So generally, see, there are 2 ways in which I have seen people doing this, right? So especially people with more years of experience. Generally, the networking happens on industry events. So, for example, if you're an oil and gas person, then oil and gas industry has so many events, and in those events, consultants are also invited. So you bump into them, you start networking actively, right, with them. Cards are exchanged. That is one. And secondly, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is extremely effective. You can actually write to them and kind of invite them for coffee conversation. Don't forget, LinkedIn reach outs do work. Yeah, if you really do them nicely. A lot of people say, why would a partner respond to me? So you wouldn't say that, you guys, because you already have a very experienced profile. Hence, they wouldn't see somebody frivolous in you. But in any case, remember that all the consulting partners, practice development is one of their KRA as well. Consulting companies are continuously looking for people because people is the only asset they have. They don't have any other magic, and there is a churn happening all the time, right? Some people go up because of up or out. Some people find out another good opportunity. These days, a lot of consultants are becoming entrepreneurs. So many of them are leaving, right? So there's churn happening all the time, and partners, whenever they get time from their busy schedule, do go through LinkedIn and they reach out emails, and they for an interesting profile, they do respond. Okay.
Thank you. And for the second question, I will be very glad if you answer them too.
Non-MBA, non-technical, I mean law, economic. So that is not a problem. See, as long as your profile, though it is not from MBA or technical, if that is the kind of work that is getting done in consulting company, then you can be expert in that. Not a problem.
Thank you very much.
Don't forget, there's one thing that I did not talk about because I think it's too detailed, and it might confuse you. Consulting companies also have center of excellence, COEs. Okay. So for example, economics, yeah, they might have a COE. Yeah. Procurement, they might have a COE. And there are a lot of people who have like half their life they have spent in procurement of steel, or I don't know, some commodity. So commodity desk is also another COE. Yeah. So there can be other those kind of opportunities as well in the expert track. Yeah.
Thank you.
Most welcome. Yeah.
Hi Gaurav, greetings of today. First of all, thank you so much for your wonderful explanation over the word consultancy industries. So I believe like I'm the only fresher over here. So I have only 2.5 months of experience in consultancy, but I only have one thing in my head that I wanted to go to in consultancy only. So I'd ask you this one thing. Can you please give me at least two suggestions that what should be kept in my mind while going into this industry?
Wow, that's a very broad question. Yeah. Probably we can take it separately. Harman. You can ping me on PrepLounge, and we can have a one-on-one call, because very difficult to give a general answer. I would much better be of use if I can see your profile and can give you wanted inputs. Yeah? So just DM me, no, on PrepLounge
Okay.
or on LinkedIn. Yeah, it's also fine. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
I
Gaurav.
help
I'll
you,
be
don't worry. I'm
definitely
not trying to dodge
messaging
the
you.
question. I just want to be more effective, and give you something which is usable.
Yeah, I agree, Gaurav. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, Joseph.
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav, for the presentation. It's very insightful. Yeah, so I do have a question about, you mentioned the two tracks, the generalist and the experienced higher track. Like, which would you say from your experience, like, has a better exit option? Because, like, I've actually spoken with people on both track, and it seems like you're more well-rounded consultant when you're on the generalist track. Even the compensation is slightly higher. It's like there's like different class. I'm talking particularly of the MBBs now. Like there is like two different classes of employee, So like, and the generalists, they usually leave. So can you expand on that more?
So exits depend on what do you want, right?
Mhm.
Remember, subject matter expertise career track will not give you career transition. Yeah, generalist career track can give you career transition. Yeah. So, for example, I was a generalist. I came from technology background. When I was exiting, the three opportunities that I had was one with a VC fund, another was as a GM of a company to turn it around. Yeah, in Middle East, that opportunity was, and third opportunity was to handle one geography for a cement company. Okay, so I have my pre-consulting work and my post-consulting exits. The opportunities were amazing, right? So a lot of different types of opportunities. If for a subject matter expert, you are actually increasing your problem solving ability and advisory mindset by going into the consulting, and probably also getting cutting edge knowledge, but you would be able to stay in your own industry only. You join as a pharma expert and don't expect that the telecom company will hire you as a CEO.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any other question?
Gaurav, thank you very much for your presentation. And I want to ask you, is it possible to write through PrepLounge chat to you personally my questions? Will you answer? Will you have a time?
Yeah. Please on PrepLounge, please do that. Yeah, happy to
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Cool, guys. I think I was also, just a minute, somebody has put something. Okay, that's thank you. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I was able to add value to your consulting career pursuits. Be in touch, yeah, on PrepLaunch or on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Do make use of that promo code, and all the very, very best for your consulting careers. As I said, in wherever you are in your consulting career pursuits, I'm happy to help you. And thanks for making time and being here. I hope I was able to add value. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your also presentation, for your insightful presentations.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Gaurav. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.